it's funny how I immediately said that I'd go back in time. And because I'd like to be that version of myself again. And then when you were speaking, I was like, wait a minute. That version of myself is not who I am today. And the coolest thing is when I think about that and resetting and moving forward is that I actually get to be a new version of me that I've never been. So, I'm about to get emotional about that. That was weird. And the words are like, they're just not really coming, but it's interesting because we measure the gap of who we used to be to think of who we want to become when that person is gone. But you still get to take the new revised pieces and go forward. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. But I wouldn't say it's a new version of you. It's rediscovering those pieces that made you.
Yeah.
Because like the core of our being never really changes. We have outside influences where we have those reactions and we have stuff that we didn't want to take on, and we have a different focus. Like we have the kids need this. We need to make dinner. We need to clean the house. We have to go to work. We have project deadlines. We have all of those things are external focused.
Mm-hmm.
And really, our core is still there. We just haven't paid attention to who that was. Because I look back 20 years and the person that I don't want to be that person. I was very reactive. I was very blamed. Like I blamed everything. I blamed everyone. I was angry. Oh, I was so angry. Welcome to the Ritual Pantry. I'm here with Stephanie, and I'm Heather. What are we talking about today, Steph?
The power of the pause.
Yeah, the power of the pause. Like, what does that mean to you?
Oh, it means a boatload of things to me.
Okay.
As a woman, as a mom, as a teacher, it means a lot because I know I've said this in other episodes. I was not always the human that I am today. And, my oldest daughter has, graciously pointed that out for me. But it's actually really good to be able to have that reflection because I can see it. And it's amazing because so can she. Which means, obviously my other children can see it, maybe. I don't know. But it's become really interesting and to become self-aware. It's a hard process. It has not been an easy process, and it's not a fail-safe process either, right? Because we're humans, and as humans, it's really easy for us to react to a situation instead of respond to the other human in the situation. And so that, for me, is that distinction in when, shit goes sideways or whatever, I don't like something, to pause right there and go, okay, wait a second. Am I reacting to the situation that's happening because I don't like the situation? Or am I responding to the human that's in it because the human in it is different also? And they're also reacting.
Well, that's our stress responses. That's the way, emotional eating. Lots of people are emotional eaters. I had a conversation this week with somebody at work, and they had some health issues come up, and they're like, yeah. And especially at work, we have access to all the cookies and all the stuff that is not, necessarily the best for you.
Right.
And he was saying, he's like, I didn't he's like, I had to consciously look at why I'm grabbing this cookie. He's like,
Totally.
and every time that I did, it was because I was either feeling something or I actually needed water and not a cookie. But with him, it was like that the power of the pause and be like, hang on a second.
Yeah,
And
it
I've done that where you're
yeah.
like, I want to eat this entire bag of chips. No, why am I what am I feeling right now? What am I missing? Do I need some salt? Do I need some water? Do I need some electrolytes? What's going on?
Yeah. And that's just like the base level stuff, right? Because you're talking about the physical stuff
That's the
you could be feeling, right? Never mind the stuff that the emotional part of the eating where you're like, ooh, like getting health news. Isn't it funny how there's this like, pardon me, this switch that's like, oh, well, I'm already here. I might as well just eat more of it. Like when you get like, what's an easy one? Like, mm,
when you're having a disagreement with somebody, that's a really easy one too,
oh,
where you don't have quite the same view and you want to have that like immediate response.
you know what? I think we've just gotten used to immediate gratification. It's where we live. Oh, you don't know that? Let's Google it right now. Uh, but yeah, no, you're right there. But I think it's just really interesting, and I can see where I've been guilty of this, like with food, where it's always that like, oh, I'll start tomorrow because I've already eaten a cookie today or whatever, right? And like,
I already feel awful, so let's continue this train.
right? In the great words of CCR, someday never comes, man.
Like, pattern interruption.
Yeah.
So, how many problems can we avoid by just taking a pause and reaching for a glass of water?
Or coffee that may or may not have adult things in it. um, yeah, no, it's really important and it's hard. You know, I've had this week for me has been one of those ones where I've put myself into that victim mentality because like something was happening to me and I'm like, all right, Stephanie, I've sat in it for a bit. I've talked about it, probably too much because it made me really angry. And now I'm like, okay, I need to pause. Where's my personal responsibility here? What did I, how did I show up? What was in it for me and where can I go from here? So that pause, the like, okay, I felt it. Now what? What next?
Well, and it's not about so what in my mind, a pause it's not doing nothing. It's not just showing up and being like, nope, checking out, I'm out of this conversation, peace.
I mean, sometimes that happens. Like,
Sometimes it's just, just I need a minute to clear my head because when we react in anger, ooh, bad things follow.
yeah, react instead of respond, big time. It's like it never ends well.
No.
So it, the the personal reflection on how you show up is part of that pause. But right, you're right. You don't just stop and be just like it's not like you're going blank. Like that's not what's happening in that pause, right? In stressful situations specifically is what I'm talking about right now. Um, it actually is a turning inwards of okay, how do I flip the switch?
That checking in with yourself,
Yeah,
right? That's
and
what we're meaning by the pause.
yeah,
Where am I? What is bothering me? Why do I want to react this way? Where is this coming from? Like questions that we can ask ourselves to get clarity before we can respond. Because reactions, it's usually quick to anger for me.
yes, yep, yeah. I mean, that's a pretty typical one. It's
And
usually a stress response, right?
it's a stress response and it's like, I'm uncomfortable right now, so I'm going to make you uncomfortable too.
Yeah, yeah. You're
That's
you're so right.
so
Um,
when we step back and be like, okay, I don't want to feel this way. I don't want other people to feel this way. And for me, my brain processes internally, and it processes like it has a process and it looks like it's going slow. And at first, I'm like, well, they're just going to think I'm stupid. So I'm just going to respond anyway. I'm just going to
Mhm.
react instead of being like, you know
See.
what? I'm just going to step away for a moment. I need to think about this and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, and do you know what's really interesting, as, our beautiful producer mentioned it right before we went into this episode, is that when you actually take a pause when things are about to hit the fan, and you actually stop yourself instead of, like, saying exactly what's about to come out your brain, which lots of times it just doesn't end that well,
I mean,
is and then but the thing that happens is, I know for me, is that I'll go back even in situations, like, I could be the next day, and I'll think about that, and I was like, "Man, I sounded really stupid." And then, like, what Sarah said is that she's like, "I actually feel smarter when I stop and I process for a second or whatever it takes, because you actually articulate instead of being, you know, starting to swear or whatever. I mean, we have this thing in our house that says maybe swearing will help." And it's not wrong. But
in the moment,
yeah,
but an hour down the road, you're like, oh my goodness.
right? And
Like, I have a prime example of this. So it was brought to my attention. So there's lots of movement happening at work currently. And someone wanted to move rooms. And it's a room that I'm supposed to go into. And
like
I
to
saw
sleep?
her. Yeah, just
Uh,
like, so there's lots of movement happening right now. And one of my coworkers, I'm like, I heard you trying to steal my room. And like, I thought I was joking. A friend of mine came over later on. He's like, Heather, like, hello probably would have been in order. Like, you were a little harsh. And I'm like, what? Seriously?
and
So I had to go back and like plead my case and apologize because that's not how I want to come across. But if somebody else is seeing that,
right.
and in the moment, yeah, I wasn't angry, but I'm like, no, it's my room. I'm keeping it. Like, it was like my territory.
Eat
And,
all over it.
and apparently I was peeing all over it. And that was not my intention. So, I just like happened to like walk by and I'm like, hey, you, like, there was no thinking. It was like immediate, like,
Interesting.
not my intention at all.
Interesting. And isn't it funny how, like, in those kind of situations, I always say to my kids, and I've probably said it before in here, that, like, words have no meaning. They're just words until someone else gives them meaning. And that is exactly what happens, because you had zero intention of having that tone, or you probably just thought it was a joke, right? Like,
I did
eh,
until it
but
was brought to my attention and then I reflected back and I'm like, oh,
right?
yeah, I can see how that was interpreted that way.
And then someone else had given those words a totally different meaning than you had.
Oh, it was my tone. My tone was very aggressive. Very aggressive, apparently.
Right. It all comes down to tone. It's not the words that come out, it's the tone that they're said with. That's a hard one to teach kids because they really don't get it. Like Amory, he's so funny. He literally has no idea what back talking is. But that's just how he lives his life in back talk country. That's where he is. And it's not that he's actually trying to be rude. He just has something to say about everything. And he is so goddamn smart that what he says back to you really smacks you in the face. So there's a lot of pauses with that kid, or he'd be like Bart Simpson. Like, you just gotta, he just like everything. He's so quick. And so is Nova. But like, sometimes I know it drives Arthur crazy. And I just look at him and I'm like, man, and sometimes it's just hard not to laugh, even though I'm like, you are being a sassy molassy and you should stop. Like, just shut her down, man. And so that Pause, man. If there's one, yeah.
However, there's situations where it's like you don't even realize that you're in it
Oh, totally.
and
Yeah.
you're reacting and it's getting bigger and bigger and
And
then
you feel like you can't stop it. It's like an avalanche.
and it's not even in your awareness. And then all of a sudden you catch yourself and it's like, well, so in those moments, what do you do to catch yourself?
Oh, man. Hot seat. Sometimes it's so hard. Like, especially if I find it the hardest when uh when I'm like expectations, I guess, right? And expectations um disappointment reveals expectation, right? So if I put an expectation on something and I'm disappointed about it, that's usually when I'm triggered and I'm like, okay, that's when I know I need to pause because I'm like, okay, well, why do I expect that? Because clearly this is an invisible expectation, which causes that chain reaction of things. And oh, for me, with like the kids, I'd say a lot of it is like expectations around clean spaces or being tidy or on time, those kinds of things. And I find when I start to like mornings it depends on the day. They're not all terrible, but I think that knowing a lot of parents that this is like, could you put your shoes on? I can't find my shoes. Find your shoes and get the out the door. Like that's what it can get to. Okay. Now I said it. All right. Because that is what it feels like. And if you're me, you say it. I say it. And I don't even think my kids hear it anymore. So, but if it gets to that point, then I haven't paused or been chill before that either.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, it's interesting because like that, I'd be like, oh, all right, you do you. You live in a messy space. You do you. But if I think that I've failed or that I'm stupid, that's an immediate reaction to me.
Oh, interesting. See, now I'm going to think about that. Because you're so right. It usually does come back to how does this make me look if you're late for school? I mean, I don't think that anymore. I don't care, man. Like, whatever. But
And
that
for
makes sense.
me, with everything that I've done over the years, it always comes back to, have I failed? And do I look stupid? So if I'm feeling those in those moments, there's going to be reaction. And knowing that and catching myself in the moment can help the communication work a little better. But like it's an immediate, I have to defend myself. I did this because of.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, no, you're right. You're super right. And I guess it's different with kids because, I mean, I think I have those moments of, oh, I totally failed here after the situation has happened. But like as an adult with other adults, I can 100%, if I feel, I don't know, feel stupid or whatever, that makes me look back and go, oh man, I wish I didn't do that.
And that's always so for me, after the fact, after I can look at my reaction, be like, oh, and I always say, you know this, why do better? And then I start beating myself up.
Totally
And then it's
right.
like, no,
Uh-huh.
this isn't about, it's about getting better at catching myself in those moments. And it's an ongoing process.
Yeah.
And it's a skill, like any other skills, like no different than the first time I made hollandaise sauce. Man,
I've always been awesome. Sorry. Okay, tell me about this. I don't know about it.
well, it was like a super slow process, and I was paranoid that it was going to break, and
Did it?
no, it didn't. And, but my first time it didn't, but eventually I've made a hollandaise sauce that is broken, and then I had to learn how to fix it.
Right.
I had a point to this, and it's gone.
I don't know what it is, but I like hollandaise sauce, and now I kind of just want some hollandaise sauce.
Yeah, that'd be good. Anyway, it's a skill set that you have to learn over time. That's my point to this whole thing.
It is.
And
Yep.
just because you catch yourself the first time Doesn't mean you're going to be perfect every time.
No.
It doesn't mean that you're not going to have these reactions. But when you catch yourself being so agitated, for me, it always comes back to agitation for me. When I'm agitated, stopping or having someone point it out is even worse because I'm like, I know better. Like,
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go back to, I think, like our first episode. I think we talked about box breathing.
we did.
I think we did. And so that's been a huge one for me, is even if my kids start to like amp up and they're feeling frustrated or with each other or me or whatever, I'm like, okay, listen, let's just take a deep breath. And I'll do it with them every single time. Let's just take some deep breaths. Let's reset and try again. And that has been huge, is just remembering like, hey, you can literally reset your nervous system in seconds, but you have to make the effort to do so.
And you have to have the awareness that this is happening. And
Well,
that's the key.
I feel like most people, as I saw something flash in my brain, but I'm saying most people have the awareness, right? But awareness is step number one. Okay, so we're aware. Now what? And it's the now what part
And that's where the pause comes in.
that like, okay, then now what? Take a deep breath. That's it. If that's all you do, just take a deep breath. And then respond. Think about the human interaction instead of the situation interaction. Because the situation is going to change. You have the power to change that situation in that breath. You have the power to do that. And one thing that has also helped me in these moments of like, is that every moment is made up of either building a relationship up or breaking it down. And what is this reaction or response going to cause in the next 10 seconds? So if I keep reacting to the fact that my kids don't have their goddamn shoes on, is that going to, for real, and I think about this very consciously now, because I hate starting the day like that for my kids. They have to go to school all day now. What are they going to be thinking about? Is this setting them up for success? So if I'm losing my noodle over some shoes and I'm like, get the like that kind of thing, and it happens. It does happen. I am not going to sit here and say it doesn't happen, because it does. We all have that point on some days, whatever the moon's doing, whatever your cycle's doing. Okay, we have it. And I think about it as soon as we get in that truck. Okay, how do I turn this around right now so this is not the rest of their day? The awareness, the breath, the shift. You can shift it at any time, no matter how far you have avalanched in. You can still change it.
Absolutely. And we've been talking about big reactions.
Yeah, we have. Yep.
Big reactions. But what about the small reactions where we say something because we think that somebody else wants to hear it?
Oh, yes. Unsolicited advice, I like to call that. Yeah. Yes. Again, I have that one too where I'm like, I shouldn't have said that. Like, they didn't ask me. And I've been trying so hard to live by the mantra of, if they didn't ask me, don't tell them. It's like, did you ask me if I like the color pink? No. Well, then me not liking the color pink, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant.
Oh,
It serves
okay.
zero bread. Me too. I love pink also. But like, you know what I mean? Whoa. Do you know what I mean? And right? If someone doesn't ask, don't answer. They don't care. Your opinion means nothing. It's trash.
even if we keep opinions out of it. So this week, there was a situation that unfolded, and I had a conversation with my boss. And I essentially told him what he wanted to hear,
Mm,
right?
mm.
This is what's best for the company, and I kept myself out of it.
Your emotions out of it.
No,
Is that what you mean?
I kept like what I wanted out of the conversation.
Oh, okay.
So I had a pause. I had a coffee because it was my break time. Had a coffee and I reflected back on the conversation, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that went well. And then I'm like, but I don't know if I actually told him what I wanted out of this conversation.
Interesting.
So I took that pause. It was about 10 minutes. And I walked back down to his office and I'm like, I meant what I said. However, this is what I would prefer. And he's like, you know what, Heather? He's like, that's what I would prefer too. And he's like, and if it's possible, we'll make it happen, but it's not necessarily possible. But in those moments, I took that pause, I took that moment, I was able to articulate what I wanted.
Yeah, you had a choice because you would have, if you hadn't gone back, I'm saying you would have sat in that.
I would have
And you
sat in
would
that
have
and been
been,
like, that's not what I wanted.
yeah,
That's
and which immediately puts you in that victim mindset, right? That this is happening to you,
and
not for you,
it was all
right?
because of everything that I said.
Right?
So for
So easy.
me, I left that conversation feeling empowered and uplifted and supported.
Yeah.
And out of any conversations, that's what both parties should feel.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. And you have a great relationship with your boss to be able to do that, to go back and say like, hey, wait a second. So pardon me, that's really cool. So I have other questions because we've talked about really big reactions
Mhm.
and pausing in those reaction moments. But, and I know we've talked about it before and you're way better at it than I am, but I'm actually working on this. I'm factually working on this, which is cool.
You're developing a skill.
I am. I'm developing a skill about purposely pausing, having purpose to pause outside of those big moments, to actually check in with yourself and do that sort of self-care. I think we talked about like me being extremely uncomfortable with people who have baths during the day because I'm like, what are you even doing with your life? And like and me, my kids having this big reaction if I sit down on the couch during the day. They're like, Mom, are you okay? Like, listen, I just need to sit down. Um and and so I have actually been consciously making a decision to be like, I actually cannot stand here anymore. I cannot. And I'm putting the dishes down. Like, I'm gonna have to deal with these later. And I'm stopping myself because it is currently causing me physical harm. Like it just, everything is, it's a situation right now. I'm working on it.
That's actually a huge step for you.
Right? Yeah, it really is. So pausing outside the big moments, so less of the big moments happen.
So exactly. If we're in a space where we feel like our body has the energy to move forward, it's all about checking in. It's checking in with our emotions. It's checking in with our physical health. It's checking in. Like I've witnessed so many people who are so sick and they're like, no, I gotta get this done. That's my tummy.
You hungry?
My tummy is hungry.
It's a hollandaise sauce chat.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But people who are sick and just keep pushing themselves, where at that moment in time, what does your body need? It needs some downtime. If we don't give our body what it needs, eventually it starts breaking down.
Absolutely.
That's where sickness comes in. That's where ailments come in. That's where big diseases come into play.
And hatred. You're gonna get cancer if you hate people, man. Sorry to let you know.
Okay. I mean, that's a totally different conversation. Totally different conversation,
It
which we
is.
will
Yeah,
get
yeah,
into
yeah,
one
yeah.
day.
One day.
Yeah, the emotion and disease connection. There's some good stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
But our bodies are meant for rest.
I'm into rest.
Periods of rest.
Do you know what's so funny? My kids are always like, Mom, what's your favorite thing to do other than sleeping? I love sleeping. Like, if I get to sleep and, like, actually sleep, like, oh my God, I just love it so much.
Coming from a girl who goes to bed at midnight and is up at 5.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
I mean, like, it's true. And I like, I love sleeping. I just think it's the greatest thing ever. Which is really funny because outside of my bed at nighttime, resting is like non-existent. But there's been a few days lately where I'm like, man, I could just really have a nap. You know me, I can't nap to save my life. If my life depended on a nap, I would be dead.
I'm not a good napper either. I've come to decide.
Yeah. There's just nothing. But like my body is actually telling me now. It's like you need to chill down. Okay?
Is it actually
Sleep.
saying it, or are you just listening now?
Shut up. I hear it. It's singing to me.
No, she's listening now. It's always said it. She's just now listening.
It's true-ish. It's true-ish. It's true-ish. Yeah.
All right.
But it's cool. It's cool. I'm excited about where it's going to go. And I went for a massage.
So that's another great thing.
Yeah.
What are you doing for yourselves? Are you going for a massage? Are you going to go have a session of Reiki? Are you going to go get your nails done?
I want to do
Like,
all those things.
moments that we take for ourselves, the pause, the break in our day, to bring ourselves back to a clarity. Because if we go all day, every day, it's not good for anybody because that's where the reactions come in.
It's true. And then you don't sleep good anyway.
All right. So, Pantry Confessions.
Ah, I forgot I was going to make a jingle about this. I'll get there. I'll get there.
All right.
I'm ready.
I keep thinking I need a big rest. Or, oh my, how about I read properly?
It's like, I feel like we just talked about this.
I keep thinking I need a big reset to feel better, like a fresh start, a new routine, a whole different version of my life. But honestly, I'm exhausted about thinking about starting over. I don't want a new version of myself. I don't want a glow up or a 5-step plan. I just want to feel like me again. The version that feels steady and familiar before everything got so loud.
This is loaded. All the way loaded.
All the way loaded.
And perfect for today.
And not alone.
No, hell no, not alone. It's so easy. I think like when listening to you read this one was like, oh yeah, like it would be so nice if I could snap my fingers and be me 20 years ago. Because that's the version where I'm like, oh, I felt healthy. I felt like I had energy. I was still working way too much. But there was like things I went out, I did things, I was social. So that sort of like big reset. If I could, I wouldn't actually, to be so real, but like in my brain, that's where I would take myself if that's how it went.
Well, in getting to a new version of yourself, it's never about doing a new version. It's about rediscovering who we are and the things that made us happy, the things that gave us that like zest for life, the thing that feeling of going to school because it's a field trip day versus sitting in a classroom.
Mm-hmm.
That excitement about going on a trip where we can have those moments every single day.
Yeah. You totally just made me think about something, and it's correlates with what I said previously, is that it's funny because I can't speak for everyone, but I can speak for myself in this, is that it's funny how I immediately said that I'd go back in time. And because I'd like to be that version of myself again. And then when you were speaking, I was like, wait a minute. That's I mean, that version of myself is not who I am today. And the coolest thing is when I think about that and resetting and moving forward is that I actually get to be a new version of me that I've never been. So, oh, I'm about to get emotional about that. That's weird. L- It, and the words are like they're just not really coming, but it's interesting because we measure the gap of who we used to be to think of who we want to become when that person is gone. But you still get to take the new revised pieces and go forward. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. But I wouldn't say it's a new version of you. It's rediscovering those pieces that made you
Yeah.
that because like the core of our being never really changes. We have outside influences where we have those reactions and we have stuff that we didn't want to take on, and we have a different focus. Like we have the kids need this, we need to make dinner, we need to clean the house, we have to go to work, we have project deadlines, we have all of those things are external focused.
Mhm.
And really, our core is still there. We just haven't paid attention to who that was. Because I look back 20 years and the person that I was, I don't want to be that person. I was very reactive. I was very like I blamed everything. I blamed everyone. I was angry. Oh, I was so angry.
Yeah, and see, you're right. See, I'm thinking about the physical me. Back then, I'd like to be the physical me back then. I wouldn't like to be the inner me. You're right. You're super right.
But all of those are just external because I'm the person that has showed up as a friend and loving and caring. And when I didn't feel that in return, that's when I had those external reactions. That's when I was
Mhm.
projecting.
Yeah.
So in moments like this, where it's not about all the big things that you have to do to create this brand new person,
The physical things. The things that other people see.
the things that other people see. So it's about coming back to our core of humanity. And I believe that everybody out there is kind and compassionate, and it's protecting that inner child. So, again, speaking to that 6-year-old child within you, what does that 6-year-old child need?
Lollipops. Mud pies. The beach. And sandy licorice.
For Steph, it's all about the sugar, the feeding her inner sugar bug.
Totally is. And sunshine. There's probably something to be said about that.
So when she's looking at that, I'm willing to bet that it was a shared experience
It was.
with her family,
It was.
with her cousins, and it was that feeling of togetherness.
Mhm.
It wasn't about everything else. It was about that feeling and what's around it. So taking those moments and remembering and getting to that core emotion where when you felt healthy, when I felt like I feel pretty healthy right now, but it's not about the physical look. It's about feeling good and having the energy to get on with your day instead of, oh my God, I need a cup of coffee and I need to get my butt out of bed, and oh, it's dragging on.
Yeah. I think it's so important to truly in this conversation and this feeling is remember that we all do it. We all put our um, our validation usually in external vehicles. And external vehicles are they're always going to be there, but they're never actually going to fulfill within. So if you notice yourself putting something, I guess I can share a really quick story. I always thought that I was going to make videos online and like sell them. And I was like, yes, I can do this. And I could never figure it out. For years, I've been talking about this and I'm like, I can't figure it out. I just don't really know how to do this, even though it's really simple. And so there's a block there, right? It was external vehicle. And I actually, in the course I'm taking right now, I had a one-on-one and broke it down. And I was like, yeah, I don't actually want to do this. Right? I felt no joy. I felt no attachment and no I felt attachment to it because I felt like I had to do it, but I felt no heart behind the desire, the drive to do it.
Hmm.
Because I mean, I was like, I can get anything I want on the internet for free. Why would someone pay for me? They wouldn't, right? And so, but to work through that and take it out of that external vehicle and bring it back to my core of how I felt about it. And I'm so happy. I'm literally so happy because I'm not going to do that. And honestly, the decision came down to flipping a coin. And whatever it was, like heads was like, you do this, that's it. And tails was, you don't do it. And then so flipped it and it was the opposite. And it was the immediate feeling you get when you do that. It was like, you do it. And I was like, oh man, well, there's your answer. Right? So sometimes you just got to flip a coin.
Yeah. So what it comes back to is rediscovering yourself. It's not finding that brand new version. It's not finding other things that you have to add into your day. It's about remembering who that child is and what made them happy and the emotion behind it, what made them feel safe and secure.
Yeah, man. That was
And
a good one. I love that.
and on that note,
Thanks for
that's it.
today.
Thanks for today.
Love you.
Love you. Bye, guys.